Being your own person in your 30s as a single mom and trying to date could be a real adventure and not a good adventure. It's not a walk in the park. And if it is a walk in the park, it's Jurassic Park. There are some dinosaurs out there, let me tell you. So I've been dating the same person for a while. And the number one thing I noticed about him is that he is his own person. He is his own person. He has his own life, own job, own car, own home, own friends, own family, his own. And I have my own life, my own job, my own responsibilities, my children. When we are together, we incorporate each other into our lives and share about our lives, but we are never forcing our life upon the other person. We volunteer to take part in it. What is really important to me at this phase in my life, at this point in my life, is that my children are number one.
Well, obviously dating as a single mom is not going to be some awesome adventure, regardless of how some of these queens who leave their husbands to find themselves feel it's gonna be. I agree that dating can be like Jurassic Park, and single moms can sure be the velociraptors in the jungles of those parks. It's good this queen found a man who has his own life, aka an adult. Now, this post-war single mama had to state in her video that her children are her number one priority. Why is it when single fathers say the same, some women would say that is a red flag? Oh, ladies, I've seen at least one video of a post-war dating bird of prey actually say if a man has to state his children are his number one priority, then they probably aren't.
No, how dare you? How dare you? No, how dare you?
My job is at the highest importance for me because it provides for my children. I don't want to rely on a man for financial help. I don't want to rely on a man for the ins and outs of the things I need every day. I want a partner that I can share my life with and that he can share his life with me, that we can be there in the good times and bad times, but we are not relying on each other to complete each other. We are complete people who together make life better and sweeter, but we would be okay on our own if we didn't have each other, because being together should be a choice, not a necessity. And that is what I call an adult, healthy, stable relationship.
Okay, we can add this audit up as a W since she has made it clear things are awesome the way they are.
Ho, ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
To my younger male viewers, let me give you some game on how the long term plays out. This rarely stays the same, regardless of how cool a single mom you are dating can be. At some point, sooner or later, she's gonna ask the "where is this going?" question, followed soon after with comments similar to "she deserves better" and "she needs a man to be a man," as in put a ring on it. Ladies, you may claim that I just said that to try and find negativity, but I promise all of you that many men who have dated single mothers can attest to these questions/statements are not a matter of if, but a matter of when they will be said. Either that or mysteriously the bulk of single mothers follow the exact same dating playbook.
No way.
Moving on.
What it's like dating as a single mom. Let's get into it. So if you guys didn't know, yes, I'm a single mom. I have a kid. She's 3. She's great. Look, it's the crust on my sweatshirt for me. Anyways, so dating as a single mom is very interesting. I had my kid at 21 or 22. I don't really remember anyway. But yeah, it forces you to grow up and live an entirely different kind of life. I used to think that men cared if I had a kid, but honestly, they really don't. To be quite honest, I feel like there are 2 spectrums that you get placed in. A lot of men jump in this and like you have the overly eager men who are like completely ready to play stepdad, which is like doing too much for me, buddy, like slow your roll. Or you have the men who are simply just trying to hit you and quit you because they're like, oh, I want to mess with the MILF. Even though I'm 25, like, do I really count? Not really. But there is like that happy medium of men, but they're very rare to find. Like they don't care that you have a kid, but they're also like not overly eager to meet your kid. They're like, you know, not just trying to hit you. Like they actually want to be your friend and get to know you. They want to get to know you as a person. I know there are single moms out here who just like be dating everybody. I'm not that kind of mom. I don't do that. If you can't tell, like for part 2.
Yeah, she's not that kind of single mom. Although in another video, she admitted to being in the club late at night, getting tequila shots poured down her throat. I know it's been a minute since this video was posted. She may be a little more matured, but this mentality is shared by many young, attractive single mothers. What I mean is dating the men who want to quickly play another man's safe game or the pump and dumpers. The middle ground guys are usually the more mature guys who are busy with their careers, whom for the most part decided to keep a single mom around for those late night rendezvous. And the reason those men are so rare is basically because having a successful man coming around for late hour repeat business, then leaving in the morning with a juice box and fruit snacks isn't exactly common in today's dating market for single mom selections.
Pathetic.
Point being, it is understandable that the dating challenges single mothers face don't really change all that much. Keeping this in mind, ladies, maybe it should serve as a reality check for some of you.
Squeeze me? Oh, no, you dick.
Moving on.
How I manage to have a dating life when I have my son 100% of the time. As we speak. I know it can be tough as a single mom to find time to date, so here is how I manage it. Firstly, I'm meeting guys on a dating app. So I have a dating app, it's called Hinge. Hinge, if you're watching this, sponsor me. I find that Hinge has the most serious men on it, like men who are actually looking for relationships. So I use a dating app. I have it on there in black and white what I'm looking for. I don't entertain anyone who's not looking for the same thing. You can tell by their profile. There are definitely clues to what someone's looking for just based off, like, I could see someone's profile and know they're looking for a hookup or they're just being unserious, you know, whatever. So once I do match with somebody who I see potential, I try and talk to them for quite a few days before meeting up, just so that I know there's no deal breakers, we're on the same page, they're basically like worth hiring a sitter or having someone watch Gray for a few hours to meet them in person, because I don't have very much free time and my time is very valuable. So once I does get to the point where I think there's potential and I want to go on a first date, I have one trusted babysitter that I will book for a couple hours, or sometimes my sister will watch him. I also have a couple friends who live close by who will sometimes watch him for me, but it honestly doesn't happen too often. Like maybe once a week I'll go on a dinner date. It just depends.
Let me make this clear before anything else, ladies. The moment a woman decided to become a single mom, widows excluded of course, is the moment where the vast majority of things in her life took a back seat in the pecking order of all things. Am I saying her dating life is over? No! I am saying that expectation management is warranted. Now, I do give this young mommy credit for having a vetting process when selecting a man to go out with. I did in a previous episode give out several key pieces of advice to single moms in the dating market. Link in the cards for that episode. Here I would say that this queen needs to accept that she must date with the intent of using her youth and beauty to snag up a beta with resources. She should be looking for a man at least 7 years her senior. Hey, this gorilla gives advice to women too. If a chump out there wants to put a ring on it, that's his call. I'm really starting to think I should start up a course on teaching single mothers how to successfully go on thirsty beta husband safari hunts. If I was a chick with my knowledge, I would have caught the best imp husband possible.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
But usually after the first date, I'll kind of have that conversation that I'm a mom, and if they're okay with that and we move forward, at that point they understand that my time is very limited and that I can't be texting them all the time, that I can't be going on multiple dates a week. And if they get to the point where they respect that and they're willing to work around my schedule, then it's great. Continue to see them. But that's usually where I find the time. I honestly don't let it take up too much of my mental space because there are so many other priorities I have that are more important. But at the same time, like, I want to be open and at least, like, give myself the chance, like, give it the benefit of the doubt, put myself out there and date a little bit because, of course, I want to find a relationship. You know, I'm not in a huge rush, but I would love to be with the person who I'm going to be with sooner rather than later, especially, like, with Gray. Like, I want him to have, you know, someone to help me raise him eventually. So, yeah, that's how I manage to date with my child 100% of the time. So if you really want to make it a priority, find the time. You know, an hour or two a week is not a lot to invest in yourself and your dating life. And it's honestly just a nice break from being a mom too. Like, it's nice to go sit down and have a cocktail or go sit at a nice dinner and not have your baby on your hip. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Bye guys.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Fam, I'm starting to feel like the gorilla version of Matthew Hussey without the fluff or Aussie accent. Although I have 0 degrees or certificates in head shrinking or therapy to even dare call myself a dating coach, what I have are 2 things. 1, a lot of experience in the jungles of modern day dating and family court. 2, a radar for a plan that will unfold into crap. This young woman is going to go through a lot of dating heartbreaks for several reasons, but primarily because she is shooting from the hip for herself and Chad's rugrat. Obviously, the best option would be for her to fix things with the father and build on it. If that is not an option, she needs a better game plan than the romance equivalent of a stormtrooper laser rifle fire of spray and pray. If not, she is looking at years of being pumped and dumped until she eventually winds up with a few baby daddies and a greedy therapist #1 customer.
Now that's a lot of damage.
Moving on.
So I've been dating as a single mom for a while, and one of the hardest things has been how lonely it is. People who are just single and dating don't get it. People with kids don't get it. Married people don't get it. I think the only people who get it are single parents dating. It's just a challenge that you have to walk through to be able to relate to someone. I have one single mom friend, and I am so thankful for her. That being said, my other friends I will talk to about my dating life, but I kind of take what they say with a grain of salt. Anyone who has not been in the dating pool, in my opinion, in the last 2 years, does not understand what the modern dating pool is like. One thing that has been odd and kind of funny to me is the weird like MILF fetish thing that a lot of guys have, okay? So like I talked about in the last video, you'll get ghosted by guys, and then you'll have guys that don't care that you're a mom. There's also guys who don't want to date you seriously because you're a mom, but then they think the mom thing is really hot, and so they do still want to talk to you and try to sleep with you. So you have to figure out like where that middle ground is, okay? Like I was actually FaceTiming this guy last night who I have a date with this weekend, and he just told me, he was like, the mom thing is hot and most men are attracted to it. And I was like, why do y'all think it's hot? He said, I literally don't know. He said, but I've never met a guy who didn't think it was hot.
That's not that hard to explain. Just search up Stifler's mom, and you will understand why younger men will think it's hot. It's more like a box they want to check than anything else. More realistically, most single men over the age of 30 don't think single moms are hot as much as they would consider them a layup in dating. Now, I do recognize that young, attractive single moms can easily get a date. That's not the issue so much as a single mom trying to get a man they are interested in to commit. Like all women, they shoot for a HVM. Nothing wrong with that. Although many of these young, attractive single moms fail to understand that they will rank below an attractive, childless woman. Sure, ladies, you can disagree with that and probably state some onesie-twosie example of a single mom that got a HVM. Those are the outliers, not the norm. You don't see the book of men stating they will always be with hot, younger women because Leonardo DiCaprio is doing it. Now, do you?
Got him!
So it's hard sometimes to figure out where that middle ground is, but you just got to do your best, and that's why we keep boundaries up, and that's why we don't catch feelings and we don't sleep with them. And that leads me to my next point of FaceTiming before the first date. I try to always have a FaceTime call before the first date. Why? I'm a single mom. I don't have a lot of time to actually go out. FaceTime helps me know whether or not, number one, I'm actually attracted to him. It's, you know, pictures can be deceiving, and voices really matter to me. So sometimes a guy's voice is icky to me, and then I don't want to meet him. I know that's kind of a weird thing, but if you can get a guy to FaceTime you, I think it's really, really good to eliminate them that way. Dating and talking is an elimination round. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're trying to figure out which ones we want to get to know. One time I had a date plan with this guy. I thought he was really attractive. I thought we were really going to get along. And then we FaceTimed, and I swear to you, he looked at me like I was something to eat. The entire call, I felt so uncomfortable. And afterwards, I texted him and canceled the date. I was like, I don't want to meet this guy. Last but certainly not least, if you can afford it, you should be in therapy. It is so helpful to learn what your boundaries should be, how to navigate baby daddy relationship, and how to avoid getting into another toxic situation.
Colleen, let me tell you, a fortune can be saved in therapy if you follow one simple rule. Stop chasing the Chads and Tyrones. Note that the type of men she complained about in her rant were basically the same type of guy. One who was basing his interactions with her solely on sleeping with her. Ladies, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a type or a preference, but if you continue to go out with the bad boys, why would any of you expect a different outcome from your dates?
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Do you ladies honestly think that a hot player that has at least 6 other women chasing after him is looking at an attractive single mother and thinking, oh man, I can't wait to have a serious relationship with her and raise her rugrat like my own? If you believe that, let me know. I have some swampland in Florida to sell you. For those smart young single mothers listening to dating advice that's not in an echo chamber, all 2 of you, you have to target your dating strategy for a guy who is going to sign you up, not Mr. Six-Pack blow my back out. And I promise you, it will pay out long-term dividends. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.